It's Thanksgiving week, so the question everywhere, what are you thankful for? Hi, I'm McCove Johnson. I'm a Christian women's life coach, and I specialize in childhood emotional neglect recovery and do that through a process of psychological principles and prayer. And yeah, believe that's what makes it really powerful. Hi, Renee. I'm glad you can make it today. Um, I am going to start off this morning with prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for always being with us. No matter what we're going through, no matter what things look like, you've promised that you are always, always with us. And if nothing else, we can give thanks for that always. And help us to remember that really is bigger than anything we're facing, anything we're struggling with, that your presence is greater than life, and can always, always be thankful for that. And just intentionally stepping into that today and praying for the hard situations out there. I know of missing children. I know of suicidal friends. There's just hard stuff out there. And I know that you're working, and I ask you to continue working and show us how to partner with your working in those things, and to be giving thanks that you're working and you're with us in those things. Amen. So in the United States, this Thursday is Thanksgiving, and it's a day set aside to be intentional about giving thanks. And to be totally honest, giving thanks and being thankful is something that I have always struggled with. And realizing as I learn more and more about childhood emotional neglect that so one of the big outcomes of childhood emotional neglect is that you're disconnected from your emotions. Directly or indirectly, you were taught to not pay attention to your emotions for whatever reason. Because your parents didn't know how to deal with them, because your parents didn't make room for them, whatever it was. Somehow you learned, I don't need to pay attention to my emotions because nobody else is paying attention to my emotions. So it's easier to just not have them, or to pretend I don't have them. And so Thanksgiving, like giving thanks, comes with a feeling of gratitude. And so if you're disconnected with your emotions, it's kind of hard to feel gratitude or to know what that should feel like. And in listening to Brene Brown's books this summer, I listened to all of them, so I don't remember now which book it was in, but she talks about foreboding joy. And how joy, you have to clean up your Play-Doh first. How joy is really a super vulnerable emotion, because, and I don't remember exactly how she explained it, but like allowing ourselves to step into joy opens us up to the possibility of whatever we're excited about going wrong. And I think that's the enemy. But if that makes sense, you can give me a thumbs up or give me a heart. But I was thinking, I think gratitude is kind of the same. Like it's a vulnerable feeling emotion. What do I do with this, and how do I be grateful for this if I maybe could lose it? I don't quite understand. I'm still processing through that, but realizing that gratitude does feel vulnerable, and in giving thanks for things, to we can say thank you. I appreciate that, thank you, and it can kind of stay at the surface. But to be more vulnerable and to be more genuine and to connect with those emotions of, rather than just a thank you, like, I don't know, for my husband yesterday, he made lunch. Crash on the Play-Doh toys. So I can say thank you for making lunch. Or I can be a little more vulnerable and say, thank you for making lunch. I appreciate the time that it saved me, or appreciate the energy that it saved me. Or I can be more vulnerable and be like, I'm having a really hard day, and so you making lunch so that I didn't need to do that really meant a lot to me. And so I think the more we can connect with those emotions and why are we thankful for this and what difference does it make to us. I lost my train of thought. My daughter asked for help. What did you need help with, Deegan?
The mat.
What do you need? You want it out of there?
Off the
So can you pull it this way? Okay. Now I need to get her buttons. Okay. You're putting it on your table? Can you push that box back? Or do you want to play with it on the floor? Sorry, I'll be right back. Okay, try and keep them quiet, okay? They're pretty noisy on there, so try and keep quiet. Okay, so Renee, that's very much me as well. Good, I'm glad it's making sense. So I guess just this Thanksgiving, rather than, I think what I usually do is like beat myself up for not feeling more thankful or not feeling more grateful. And it's been a really rough week for me. Yeah, I think I've just been listening to the enemy condemn me and whatever. So I've been having a hard week, been hard on myself, and I lost a dear friend. It was someone that I just wish I had received so much more from. She was a treasure. She was a Native Alaskan who her life was actually saved in the original serum run that inspired the Iditarod dog sled race, where these few mushers risk their lives to get the diphtheria serum to Nome and stop the outbreak there. And her mother was pregnant with her at the time, I believe. So her life was actually saved from that. She was 96 and she was just a little fireball. And I always said, like, I want to be like Miss K when I grow up. And so just feeling like I missed out on receiving from her all the things I could have to grow up to be like her. But to be grateful for everything that she did teach me and pass on to me, and know that the Lord can teach me to grow up to be like I'm supposed to, and she can still inspire me. And she's probably still praying for me. So sorry, didn't think I would be quite that emotional about that, but so that was one of the hard things from this week. And just so choosing in the coming week to choose to be grateful and to choose to connect with those emotions, even maybe the unpleasant ones, so that I can grow and get past things. Because what does the Lord tell us? He tells us to rejoice in all things, to rejoice. And that rejoicing isn't a Pollyanna, everything is perfect kind of rejoicing. It's rejoicing that He is with us, that He has overcome, that no matter what the current situation looks like, no matter what we feel, we can be thankful that He is with us, and we can rejoice in the fact that He is with us and He has overcome. And like doing that by faith. When everything is good and easy, it doesn't take any faith to do that. But when things are confusing, when things are painful, when people are being unkind, like that's when we can choose to rejoice. And it takes faith, and therefore it's more powerful. God is always pleased with our rejoicing, but even more so in the hard things. So whether you're in a hard place this Thanksgiving or not, to really press into truly being grateful and connecting with those emotions of, I'm thankful God's with me, but rather than keeping it up here as like a fact that I know that He's with me, well, what does that mean to me that He's with me? What feelings does that bring up that He's with me and He's promised to never leave me? So hope those things are encouraging to you. Couple announcements. I've put together a new freebie that I hope is helpful to you, and would be thrilled if you would share it with others if it's helpful. Just my number one tip for having a peaceful holiday. I was going to write like 10 tips for peaceful holidays, and I'm like, that's crazy and overwhelming. I'm not going to do 10 different things. One thing would be good. And then the other thing is I have my devotional, Christmas is About Jesus, that starts December 1st, and it's just a short devotional to do with yourself or with your kids to stay focused on Jesus for the month of December. And I'll post links to both of those things in the comments, and would love to hear back from you guys. Thanks for joining me, and happy Thanksgiving.